Hey, what's going on, guys? Not gonna waste any more time. And yeah, Jay-Z stealing from mulattoes. So shout out to the dude, Proud Biracial Savage. I think that's his name still. He has a couple like usernames within the blogosphere, but I'm sure he'll tune into this. Shout out to him, and I'll share it with the cat. He brought this to my attention today. The thing is, I saw this clip I'm going to share with you right now. I kind of briefly, glanced over it like a couple days ago, and I just kind of saved it, or bookmarked it rather in X. And but then like earlier today, while I was at work, the dude messaged me, was like, check this out. This guy's stealing from mulatto. It's like, oh shit, you're right. Kind of a level, I guess, of urgency. Why not? Speak on this matter because this is pertinent to us. We're debunking all the myths and the false narratives that they push on us. Because what they tell you is, well, what's mulatto culture? When we have a documented history of all these mulattoes contributing to the culture of the environments they're in, whether they're in here, United States, or whether they're in like Haiti, whether they're in the United Kingdom, whether they're in Brazil, doesn't matter. Across the globe, mulattoes have contributed to society. You know, but specifically here in the United States, it's interesting because the monoracial supremacists, and I know they're fighting each other over the court case. That's why it's wise for mulattoes to kind of stay out of it. Just watch them, analyze them, see how they move, collect data and intel, and act accordingly. That's not your battle. Okay. A mulatto wasn't harmed. Mulatto is not involved. It's not your battle. Sit back, sit out of it, and just analyze it. Okay. But here I got something for you where a couple mulattoes are involved. So we're going to talk about it. It's pertinent to us. And the kind of the clients, I know it's obviously pop culture, hip hop, which is pop. It's funny they want to claim Drake to be like a pop guy, but look at Jay-Z. He's married to Beyonce. Doesn't get more pop than that. Jay-Z, he's a pop star, but it's funny how like Blackistan want member because they're using that pop label to kind of brand you as not being authentic, not being a part of the culture. That's all they have, right? Is this tribalism and membership access, right? They wield it over your head, this social control and influence that you're a good one. You could be a part of the group. You're a good one. I love to see these quote unquote good biracials because they're all punks. Where are they at? I mean, if they got money in their pockets, of course they got status and and that's all good. But like if a black person co-signs a biracial, like for me, I already know they're kind of a mark. I'd love to see who they are. Which ones are they co-signing? Because they talk about J. Cole. I'm gonna get into that, I think, later, J. Cole. I think I was gonna add this here, but I'm not gonna be up here all night. Just want to chop it up for a bit, share this clip. But because with this hip hop, in this whole hip hop realm and sphere of influence, okay, and you see a lot of Bantus, they want to co-sign and say, well, J. Cole's a good one. J. Cole's, and I've already did videos about this on my other channel. It's like, okay, yeah, he's stoic. He's never gonna be number one. So of course you're gonna uplift. He's non-threatening. He got his little dreads. He wears his little hoodies. He's a multimillionaire, but he wants to dress kind of like a boy. He's non-threatening. Where, Drake threatens them. He's light skinned, right? Even he's with this chick right now, and Turks and Caicos got a mixed baddie, got light skinned mixed baddie. He's mixing light skin. He can get any woman he wants. He has his own private jet, billionaire. Yeah, they don't like the cat. They're threatened by that type of influence and power where the guy can go to Australia where it's majority white and sell out a whole damn stadium. I don't know how many fans were in this, over 20K people. I know of that for a fact that are going to white chicks, Australians that are going to show up, pay big money. He's not cheap. They're going to pay big money to watch Drake perform. That was like a couple years ago or a year ago, whatever, Drake in Australia. What I'm saying is that the guy has an international kind of pull and following, right? So they're threatened by that type of mulatto man. A guy like J. Cole will probably sell like 10K at best. That's if he's doing good numbers. And he has this album out called like The Fall Off. That's his album he's promoting right now. J. Cole, The Fall Off is funny. You have one mulatto man who's saying, Iceman, I'm coming here to fucking to collect skulls. I'm coming here to break people and call names, you know? And then you got the other mulatto dude who's talking about the fall off, you know, like tail between your legs. Very disappointed, man. You know, J. Cole, very, very, very disappointed. Your positioning. You had the grand opportunity to make something of yourself, you know, but you want to be that coward mulatto that tries to fit in with Bantus. And it moving forward, it's not really going to be kind of comfortable and safe for a lot of you guys because we're watching you. There's going to be more people like me. Our voices are going to be amplified. And we see you, we're like, wait a second. This is not a good example. This is not a man of integrity, of class, and dignity to walk around with his tail between his legs. Needs to be a proud man. And yeah, he put his little track. He tried to virtue signal all you mulattoes, and you took the fucking, you know, the bait, basically. They all go and respect the mulatto. All these mulattoes bragging, yay, he said mulatto in a song. Well, who gives a shit? He says nigga in every fucking song, anyways. And it's funny because the fucking blacks will tell you the word mulatto is so bad and offensive, don't say it. But the same black who tells you that, they'll never tell these rappers, don't say nigga. Look at this artist with the BBL, you know, Big Lotto. Shout out to her, you know, Miss Mulatto. Look at her. They wanted her to change her name, okay, to Lotto. Don't say Mulatto. It's bad. You say Lotto. That's okay. And she did that. That's whatever. That's her business, her brand. Okay. But then at the same time, none of these blacks are ever going to tell her, don't say the N word. Don't you find that interesting? Don't you see the control of language? It's so much in this. I'm kind of going over the place with that, but this is deep, okay? And I'm kind of free flowing with this, but I want to stay on track with the whole message here. Jay Z, this guy, Jay Z, a corporate shill, a puppet, okay, to the corporate oligarchs. He gives a Jack Dorsey. There's connections there with, you know, the guy who's the founder of X who sold it. I think he's also in bed with Cash App and these other major companies. And yeah, he's basically a string puller within the hip hop sector of the music industry. This Jay Z guy, okay. But he's also a thief. You got the video, I got the screen right here on there. He's a thief. He steals from mulattoes. And the whole point I want to say, because I kind of segued or I kind of got sidetracked, basically where one of their main arguments against you is that you have no culture, mulattoes. You just want to act black, blah blah blah. But why are blacks stealing from mulattoes? I'm gonna share you an example here. You got here, the dude was this Ice T. He's an old school rapper before my time even. He's like more of an Xer kind of cat, like 80s, early 90s, something like that. Ice T. Okay. He does hip hop, but I know he does heavy metal as well, which is cool. I love that. The mutability of mulattoes. Right. Ice T has a group called Body Count. It's like a heavy metal group, heavy metal band. Yeah, it's called Body Count. But they see that's the mulatto, the immutability. And for him, he kind of got a G pass. You notice the dark skinned Bantus don't try to pull his black card, right? Oh, he part of the culture. He was on that TV show, Law and Order. He was talking all that gangster shit. He has a song called Cop Killer, you know, from Body Count, I think it is his metal group. Ice T, the guy on the screen, right? Mulatto guy. So he has a song called Cop Killer, which the cops hate, you know. But he does the motion picture that he does the Law and Order show where he was playing a cop, a detective on the show. I like Ice T. I think as an actor, I like him. I know he was in the film. You guys covered it as well. The was it the dark skins fantasize and have wet dreams over that film with the dark skin Wesley Snipes, New Jack City. Okay, Ice T was in that film, New Jack City, right? So I think as an actor, I like Ice T. I mean, the Law and Order. I forgot which one was it. Special Victims Unit. I don't know if he was in that one because they have different like episodes editions, right? Whatever. There was a time maybe like 10 years ago. I used to watch Law and Order a lot. Good show, I think, an American like mini series, whatever. I think that's one of the better ones as far as like covering crime, the legal system in the U.S., politics, etc. I think Law and Order is a pretty good show for my standards, and Ice-T was in that show. I'm just saying it's funny because he has a song called Cop Killer, but he plays a cop later on. But no one questions his authenticity because he's part of the generation where he kind of got grandfathered in to blackness. But it's these new mulattoes who are figuring out, wait a second, these Bantus are very fickle and tribalistic. Look at how they're doing Drake. They're trying to say he's fake. But like, wait a second, what about your homie right here, Ice T? And I'm not trying to throw Ice T under the bus. I'm just saying, like, you look at a double standard. Like, they don't look at him as being threatening. And I don't know, they didn't press him like that back then. It was a different climate. That's a challenge you run into. You find these older mulattoes. I find a lot of them. So a lot of them are cool. I had a dude who's like, I think in his 70s. He messaged me over on Facebook and wanted to keep it kind of private. But I appreciate the dude. He messaged me, kind of telling a little bit of his story, and that's why I do this. That's why I'm motivated to do this. When I connect with you guys, real people, good people, mulattoes around the planet, men and women in different generations, etc. Even like I said, older than me, and he like kind of like pats me on the back, essentially says, I love what you're doing, I love what you represent, and like he kind of feels more pride and liberated when he sees a young guy like me. I mean, I'm in my mid 30s, but this dude I think was like in his 60s or whatever. You messaged me earlier. We're like, I know, like they're motivated. They see a guy like me, they're like, okay, they see a positive future where mulattoes can be out here unapologetic and proud. Where in their generation, they didn't really have that. There weren't a lot of people that were kind of signaling to them, hey, you need to speak up and be about something, represent yourself fully. Don't be shameful. Be proud of who you are. But I think, yeah, with a guy like Ice T, he whatever reason he's kind of grandfathered into it, and I'm kind of blabbing on. There's my monologue for you guys. Let me go into the meat of the matter here. Let me play this. So basically, the whole thing is with the stream. Shout out to the dude, Biracial Cat. I think it's Proud Biracial Savage over on Facebook. Or actually, yeah, I think he follows me on Facebook. By the way, all of you guys can follow me over there. Check me out on Facebook, Mulatto Vanguard, but also on Instagram. You can follow me over there as well. That's where the dude sent me this clip, messaged me. Let's check this out. Let's get into this.
And I got 99 problems. Ain't one.
What you talking about, Ice-T?
So I made the song.
Let me know if the audio is good, because I can kind of already see the audio is not that good, which kind of sucks. I don't know what's going on with the clip. Let me know, guys, if the audio is good, because I put it all the way up, but let's see.
So if you're having girl problems, I'll prepare for your son. Got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. Hit it.
Oh.
Okay, Jay-Z ripped off a song from Ice-T, and that song came out. Ice-T, it's the same title of the song. It's called 99 Problems. And I don't know, let me see the release date. 1993. And the chorus is the same. I got 99 problems, but a B ain't one. And that's Jay-Z's biggest hit, isn't it? Like, he has the other song, Big Pimpin'. He has a collab with Alicia Keys. She had the New York. When I first heard of Jay-Z, I think it was like 1998. Okay, I'm a 90s baby. So 1998, he had a song called Can I Get a What? I know he has. It was I think who else was in that song? He had some dude Timberland, and I think it was some other chick. I forgot her name. I don't know, some female rapper. And her flow was actually the smoothest on that track. let me do some background because I'm kind of dating myself, but Jay-Z is like, can I get a? Yeah, I think that's the first song, 1998. So the year I was correct. That's the year I remember. 1998, he released this song, Can I Get a whatever. And there was it was also featured, it looks like, in Rush Hour. So you had, I think, featured artist was Ja Rule. So it wasn't Timberland on this track, but I know Timberland was like active during that time period, the rapper. But yeah, Ja Rule, I think, had a verse on that track. And then Emil, which is a female rapper. And at that time, I think her flow was actually like what was popping. I don't know. That's a song I remember from Jay-Z. I'm thinking back. I'm like, this guy is not special. He's not special. He's very mediocre. But he's been promoted. And you want to know why he's been promoted over a lot of others? You really want to know why? You want to know the secret? Why is Jay-Z so special? Mediocre. He's stealing, robbing from rappers, mulatto rappers. That's why we're getting into it. Why was Jay-Z promoted? Why did they give him like special treatment? You look at his hand signs, his gestures here, right? Why is Jay-Z like they act like he's so special, right? Because he's been initiated. Okay, he's been graced, he's been initiated, and he's amongst. And who's the dude right here? It looks like a Fed chair guy right here. Was that Alan Greenspan? Is that the cat's name? The guy up in the corner? Or not the corner, the front row, rather. That looks like Alan Greenspan, the former fucking Fed chair. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know who these other cats are. This is a Prince Hall Freemason ceremony, essentially, or lecture. I don't know who this dude is. The lightest light bright in the damn room. Looks like Alan Greenspan. You guys know who Alan Greenspan is? Yeah, he's a former Fed chair. I don't know. He's 100 years old, so he's still living right now. That looks just like him, bro. I got to do some more research on that. But this cat right here, I don't know. That looks like Alan Greenspan to me. Okay, I don't know. To the initiated eye, who else are these other bald fellas? They're all older gentlemen. They're all bald. Okay, I'm bald too, so it's all good. But I don't know who the hell anybody else is. But the lightest guy here looks like Alan Greenspan to me. Former Fed chair. Then you got, of course, Jay-Z right there sitting amongst his brothers, Prince Hall Masonry. Yeah, so you want to know why he's promoted. Okay, yeah, you got your answers right there. Mediocre crack dealer from fucking Brooklyn. Why are they promoting him to the top? And he's ripping off other artists, ripping off mulattoes. Like I said, he just ripped off this dude, Ice-T, right here. Ice-T came out with the song 99 Problems back in 1993. And yet his biggest song is, 99 Problems, which is a perfect, phrase for men. For men to have that mentality. Like, I got a bunch of problems, okay. For me, I don't have healthcare problems. I don't have money problems. What problems do I have? I'm trying to think to myself. I don't have any problems, but I definitely don't have bitches problems. Okay. I don't jump on here complain about these hosts. I will clown the biracial baby mama if she deserves it. Okay. Or the little fruity kind of, feminist, whatever, who that's a whole nother thing, because in the mixed space, man, if you go on Instagram, it's all right. Let me just stay on track here with this. And so this guy's robbing these mulatto artists. This cat right here, we're gonna go into another dude he's robbing. He's still stealing the songs, man. They call it what, plagiarism? Plagiarizing a song, the whole damn title. 99 he stole the whole damn song, and that's his biggest hit. Taking it from this cat, Ice-T. And like I told you with Ice-T, I don't really bang with his music like that. Like you said, I like the fact he's eclectic. He has like heavy metal shit out there, which I love heavy metal. I like hip hop. But like, I know Ice-T because of the actor. Like, he's an actor. He's a good actor. He's been able to cross over. He's one of the good ones who's been able to cross over. Who else has been able to cross over? I don't think Snoop Dogg is really known for acting. He's been in a couple films, Baby Boy and Training Day, and his acting's mediocre. Dr. Dre was in Training Day also. Ice Cube, obviously, he's been in with the Friday series that he created, Barbershop, that stuff. And then several actors or several rappers who made that transition. You guys, right? I'd say Eminem was good in his film about his life, right? The 8 Mile, that's a good one. You guys like it. I like it. I think Eminem deserves all his props for that project. And I don't know anybody else. I can't think off the top of my head. But let me just continue on with this. Yeah, this dude Jay-Z, man. And they want to act. They have nobody to challenge the biracial mulatto man, Drake. They have no one to challenge him. They tried Little Kendrick. Okay, he's a dork. He's awkward. He's a mark. He's weak, right? And he's flawed as fuck. He's a dark skin talking about blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, and his fucking baby mama that he abuses and cheats on with white women. His baby mama's light skin mixed and more mixed in white than Drake. So you scratch your head like, wait a second, how you talking about not like us? And I don't want to hear you say nigga no more, but your baby mama is whiter and more mixed than Drake. Can we make it make sense out here? But see, this is dark skin Bantu pathology intertwined with pro whackness. And they're using a buzzword now. They're calling it the culture. And I've laughed at these animals even years ago talking about this imaginary term they use, the culture. What is it? What is the culture? They've been completely conquered and like kowtowed under white hegemony. Everything they have, from their diets, even their musical taste, everything, their names, their religion, everything has been like programmed in them from European civilization. Like, so that it's funny how they talk about the culture. Have they developed a distinct culture? You tell me. Is it so distinct? If it is, why do we have a guy like Jay-Z stealing from mulattoes? When mulatto artists create songs and this guy just completely plagiarizes it, robs it, and rips it off. No one wants to talk about that. They bring up this culture debate. No one wants to talk about that.
I got 99.
Jay,
Okay, another mulatto
that was my
cat.
song.
Y'all ever heard of payroll?
Another mulatto cat named Payroll who passed away, though. We're gonna talk about this real quick. He copied a song off this cat too. Dude is a straight plagiarist, but they want to parade him around as being this authentic, artist. And you have to understand the type of dark skin Bantu pathology and projection, because they're gonna say that Drake has ghostwriters. They're going to say that the biracial man Drake, oh, he ain't about the culture. He cosplaying. He got ghostwriters. Isn't that what the dark-skinned Bantus who band together against the biracial man? That's what they say. But then we got a literal Bantu, Jay-Z, okay, who's cosplaying a part of the culture. He's just a criminal, little crack dealer. He'll sell his soul, which he has. Okay, he's initiated into the occult order. He'll sell his soul to the devil, marry Beyonce, another one of them. He'll sell his soul to the devil to get rich and famous, be a billionaire, rubbing elbows with all these white corporatists like Roger Goodell, the NFL. How does he get to these positions? Is it because he's talented? Is it because he's a good businessman? It's because he's going to do the bidding for the oligarchs. So they grant him access, give him money. They invite him to the parties. You have pictures of this guy, Jay-Z, with P. Diddy. You have pictures of this guy and videos with Harvey Weinstein, the Hollywood Jewish producer, that guy. Like, you can't make this shit up. So he's a part of that club, but he's for the culture. See, it's because they have no one else to go up against and topple down the mulatto man, Drake. I'm from the West Coast. I saw the dude, DJ Quick, reposted some like Instagram meme of like a corn, like with the Iceman kind of glove with like a corn, basically insinuating that Drake's a cornball, because that's what they talk about with you light skins. You're corny, you're sassy, weak, and all that. Okay, yeah, we get it. You got dark skin Bantus, you got Little Nas X and Saucy Santana. So yeah, it's and you got Terry Crews, who I don't even think's gay, Terry Crews, but he's a dark skin Bantu, and he's dancing around, buck dancing, being a Fruit Loop and shit. Like, I don't, you guys just coon for whites. That's your job here. It's embarrassing, really, but then you want to project it and throw it at mulattoes or something. I laugh at it, but yeah, Terry Crews, you know who I'm talking about. He's all big, buff, and swole and tries to be all funny, and some of his shit's funny. I give him that, but it's yeah, they just project too much. They want to put their own pathologies on mulattoes, and I'm not having it. So I don't know where I was getting at with that, but let me yeah, it's just all projection here.
People know.
And who was this? Y'all ever heard of payroll?
It was my song though. That's all I'm saying.
For real?
That was my shit. But Jay, I think my shit's a little better, fam. Just being real though. You know what I'm talking about?
What song you talking about?
I never change. Never change. I'm still fucking with crime, cause crime pays. Out hustling.
That's one of Payroll's songs, the artist Mulatto Cat there, Payroll, and rest in peace to him. He passed away. I don't have the dates right here, but the song was released 2000. Okay, this guy Payroll. Okay, and then Jay-Z ripped off the song from him. He ripped off a couple Tupac songs as well. We're gonna get into that. Let's get into that.
Same clothes for days. I never change. I'm too stuck in my ways.
They're stealing mulatto art and they're stealing mulatto creativity. So you need to use this on them and debunk them whenever they talk about how mulattoes don't have no culture. You're like, well, wait a second. Mulattoes have contributed to what you people call and consider culture. Mulattoes invented jazz in the United States. Even their quote unquote most famous quote unquote black poets in the United States, which is art, is culture, poetry. Langston Hughes, mulatto man. They steal everything from you guys. You guys develop all the advanced technology, all the creative material, all the art. They steal it all from you and they repackage it and brand it and say it's black. And who else is talking about this? What other mulatto? You got Mulatto Mindset. Shout out to him. And then also the Mulatto Cat who shared this with me as well. Shout out to them. Or shout out to him rather. The Proud Biracial Savage. I think that's his that's what we're gonna go by right now. Because I like that name too, but I think he changed his handle on IG. But yeah, no, fuck that. They're stealing all of our shit. And then they want to run, turn around and look at you and be like, well, you don't have no culture. Like, wait, what? Bob Marley? What, like, what are you talking about? Mulattoes don't have culture. Mulattoes have developed all this art throughout the world. And yet you guys steal it from us and you claim it as yours. Like Joseph Boulanger, the French violinist, composer who fought in the French Revolution. You guys know him, Joseph Boulanger, this classical composer. They made a movie about him called Chevalier. They had a dark-skinned Bantu, of course, blackwashing, playing him in a film. Joseph Boulanger, Chevalier, French man who's a violinist, virtuoso, composer, fencer. He was a renowned fencer. They steal all your shit. All these mulattoes develop this music, art, culture. They contribute to society, and blacks turn around and take it and say that's a black win. Well, he considered a black man by the white man, but the same black, he'll turn around and look at you and be like, well, you don't have a culture. Like, wow. You have to kind of laugh at this point. But the beautiful thing about social media, we have all these receipts and evidence we can kind of share and like expose the myths. And that's kind of my job here, providing clarity for you guys, not to hate, not to push hate, provide some clarity, ask the real questions, start to critically think. Okay. And then of course, advocate, be an advocate for yourself and other mulattoes, right? Most importantly, yourself. But when you're of means, you want to advocate for other mulattoes as well. See how you can help them out. But look at this shit. This guy, Jay-Z, complete plagiarist, stealing people's shit, stealing music from mulattoes. But the same Bantus, because they know Kenny lost, he's weak. No one listens to that weak shit. Awkward ass, weak pro-whack music. No one gives a shit about that. Their number one song they celebrate is talking about the biracial man Drake. How the hell is that a win? He got all these Grammys and shit, Kendrick, talking about a mulatto biracial man who's proud to be biracial. That's how he won his Grammys. The biracial man won. Okay, any publicity is good publicity. They wanted smear campaigns, false allegations. Nobody believes that shit. They're spreading lies about Drake. He's having the biggest run right now. Iceman, we're in a hot summer, but his album Iceman's gonna be super cold and ice. And of course, I just played the track, Whisper My Name. And he dissed Jay-Z in that track, right? Talking about, I'd rather take $500K than a dinner. I couldn't learn shit from none of y'all. And Jay-Z got mad at that. That's why he responded this little diss. Look at him right there with the afro, trying to look like Eazy-E and shit, with the shades on at nighttime, his afro and shit, wearing a wig. Dude's 60 years old. He's got kids with Beyonce, right? Fake ass fucking satanic couple. You already know the drill. At that level, man, these billionaires and shit, Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Jay-Z, they're all part of the same class, the Epstein class. That's what we kind of colloquially kind of refer to it as. They're a part of the Epstein class, right? They're secret parties, secret initiation rituals. When they got that much money, it's like the marriage, it's a business. Even at the Lower level than that, you look at like Big Lotto and shit, and like the rapper 21 Savage. It's a business, right? It should make sense to you guys right now. It's a business, okay? Is that hood rat in love with 21? You know, but there's a connection there with Drake and all that. But let's continue on.
So Jay-Z's out here stealing 99 problems from Ice-T when everybody thought that was Jay-Z's song.
That's crazy. I thought it was his song too. Until the Mulatto dude who shared this with me, I was like, damn, I didn't even know Ice-T made a song legitimately called 99 Problems back in 1993. So I was a baby. I was like a toddler back then. I'm a 90s baby. So yeah, basically I was a baby then, 1993. So it's crazy. Like I said, I only know kind of Ice-T like based because he's done the movie stuff, you know. His music wasn't really playing on the radio, you know, where I'm from. I'm in LA. I think he's an LA cat too, isn't he? Ice-T. I don't know where he's from, but yeah. I mean, like I said, for me, what was being played in LA, or from Orange County, so this the SoCal area. Yeah, we had Tupac, of course, and then LL Cool J, who's an East Coast dude, but they were playing his songs, and then DJ Quick, I mentioned him earlier. DJ Quick, they're playing his tracks, you know, in the '90s, and yeah, I don't know, that was a while ago. It's hard for me to kind of remember right now. Let me continue on.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I got the rap patrol.
And I like that whole, like I said, as a man, I think the lyrics are powerful, right? You think of it, for me, I don't have any problems at all. That's why I jump up here with my dick out, fucking talking shit. I don't really see any problems I have. And I immediately deal with problems. I'm a very good kind of, to my own standards, problem solver. I'll put it like that. I don't see any problems. Like, I'm going to book a flight pretty soon. I'm going to go to another foreign country, enjoy my summer vacation, chill on a beach for a couple weeks. I really do not have any problems. I don't see what problems I have, and that's a good thing. But definitely these hoes are not a problem for me. Don't care. I'm not going to jump up here and complain about who these mulattas are fucking and sucking. I don't care. Do you, sweetheart? Do you? Just don't talk shit about me. Don't talk shit about the mulatto man. Throw me under the bus. It's all good. I don't care that's your business, who you're with. I don't care. It's not my problem. Occasionally, like I said, I'll kind of talk shit about the baby mama, okay? Because I already understand like their pathway to kind of blackness is they have to put the light skinned man down to make the dark skinned man feel comfortable. And I see that dynamic. So I kind of poke fun at it, poke fun, right? To me, it's like kind of a fun little gesture. But I don't take you hoes seriously like that. If you got a fucking kid by some broke ass black, like I don't take you seriously. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Hate on me all you want. It's just you're fucking losing. You're failing. You're not doing better than me. Don't care. Okay, you hoes don't got money like that. You're fucking broke. You're fucking with broke dudes. Like you're struggling. You know, I know you're struggling. You see, the exchange is you just want to be black. Have fun. Have fun, sis. Just don't involve me in the struggle that you got going on. Okay. But yeah, let me get back to this right here. Jay-Z, robbing motherfuckers, stealing their shit, but they want to turn around and say, you ain't got no culture, the hood culture. Look at his fish lips. Look at this dude rubbing elbows with Roger Goodell, NFL, and Jack Dorsey, the guy who founded Twitter. These billionaire tech bros and people in entertainment. He's rubbing elbows with big players. But then again, I'm going to bring it back to this. How is that even possible from the former crack dealer from fucking Brooklyn, you know? How is it possible that he's rubbing elbows with Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter? He sold it to, Elon. We get it. And he's rubbing elbows with the NFL president. I believe that's the title, Roger Goodell. I know that's his name, Roger Goodell. I believe he's a president of that. It's a multi-billion-dollar organization, NFL, biggest sport in the United States, right? How did he get in that position? Well, look at him here. Look at him here. And I suspect I'm looking at the dude with the glasses, the light-skinned fella. Is that Alan Greenspan? We're going to go back and do some research and kind of dig up, and it's all on the internet. It's all there, you know. Looks like Alan Greenspan to me. Wow, he's sitting there with some powerful fucking players. You're sitting there with one of the former Fed chair, who's still alive, by the way. He's 100 years old. The lightest light skinned dude right there in the front row with glasses. If that is Alan Greenspan, look it up. Okay. He's 100 years old, so he's still alive, but it's like you're sitting with the powerful man right there who controls the fucking economy of the most wealthiest, powerful nation on the planet. Wow. And you got Jay-Z right there, right next to him, sitting right next to all that power. Interesting. So again, he asked a question: how is a fucking crack dealer from Brooklyn rubbing elbows with all these people? I want to know. Yeah, because he sold his soul to the fucking devil. He wants to throw the mulatto man under the bus for a come up. These people are evil. These people are evil. And like I said, shout out to Fort Light. I think his name of his channel is Globe Light. He talks about how these people, especially these hoes, they practice witchcraft and shit. Straight up. The African American community, you got black women, they practice witchcraft. All this light skin hate, all this hate they throw out there. But see, when things go full circle, 360, and it goes right back at them, you see they're very weak. They whine and cry. They're looking for their little Anglo white massa. Yeah, he's making fun of me. He said something anti-black. We're like, wait a second, you people are fucking devils, man. There's a person out here who's a stalker and doxer and shit, and he's like burning sage and doing voodoo rituals and shit. That's real, man. These gang stalkers and these narcissists, they're all involved in this type of like voodoo rituals and all this weird occult shit. And the person puts right here, yeah, Freemason is demonic. He did things like many of these. Yeah, you see him with pictures with like, what's his name? Harvey Weinstein. You see him rubbing elbows with Harvey Weinstein and shit. Yeah. Who the guy is a complete freak, Harvey Weinstein, yeah. It's looking pretty bad for your boy, Jay-Z. But the thing is, he's 6 years old, antiquated, washed up fucking rapper. He's not as big as they try to claim he is, man. He's a New York dude. It's only Negroes from the East Coast who want to big up this fish lip nigga. Nobody on the West Coast gives a fuck about Jay-Z. He ain't popular. He's propping up his little puppet, his little corporate puppet stooge, Kendrick, from the West Coast, trying to get some kind of a cultural cachet and clout to attack the biracial man from Toronto. You're going to use this little fucking Kendrick mark, who's a dork, not from the hood, because most of the LA dudes, they're talking about the hood shit. Nipsey Hussle, The Game, like I mentioned earlier, DJ Quick. Throughout the history, like a West Coast rappers in the LA scene, like they lead with that kind of gang shit. It's the gangster rap shit. That's the capital there, right? So, but then you got Kendrick, who's kind of this weird corporate stooge anomaly. He's this pro-whack, right? He's not a gangsta, He's like talking to slave babble music and shit. Like, it's so funny how he markets himself. Like, the first time I heard of Kendrick was from a white boy in college, and I already knew then that, yeah, it's just this kind of manufactured corporate media hip hop shit. But the populace sucks it up. I think most black people in the United States are keen and smart and understand Kendrick is a mark and a punk and a fake with the pro-whack shit. But because they're jealousy and envy of biracial mulatto men who are good looking or decent looking at that, because Drake would just be a random decent looking dude. He's not the most handsome biracial man. Because they have popular, funny memes of Drake. You can even pull it up. Like, he doesn't have to lead with his looks. Drake is just so musically talented because he understands the formula, right? So let me see if I can put, like, people have memes and like they kind of crack jokes at Drake, which I do too. Is kind of funny. Like, I'm not a pretty boy. I'm not a pretty guy. I just have some big balls and a fucking nasty attitude, and that's what I lead with. But a guy like Drake, because people post memes about this, looking at him like, look at him, he's a dork, whatever. But I don't think he leads with his looks, Like, he understands the formula to make good music. And you see videos of him singing with his father when he was like 9 years old. So he was raised into the kind of culture of singing and rapping. He's the best at it as far as the versatility, being able to sing and rap. and they hate him for it. They hate him, but it's funny how they try to crack jokes on how he looks and shit, like younger pictures of him, like he's a dork, he's a dweeb, like he's a billionaire with a private jet, bangs the hottest chicks on the planet. Do you think he gives a shit what some broke black has to say? Like, I mean, geez, guys, you guys still act like you got some kind of clout and sway out here. People are clowning your ass. I know I am, shit. And of course, the baby mamas are upset. Those are the only motherfuckers who are upset. Like, what dude's gonna be hating on me? You know, if you're biracial and you're a dude, you're hating on me. I don't know. You're just a hoe. I don't know. The only biracials are hating on me. They got bastard kids by a random black dude. It's not my problem. Sorry. Because they're mad because I'm clocking your shit. I'm calling it a spade over on these parts. That's what it is, right? But yeah, look at Jay-Z robbing mulattoes and shit, robbing their culture and music and shit. Fuck out of here.
Wait, he got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one, and obviously lyrics ain't one either because you're taking them.
I'm not a biter, I'm a writer for myself and others. I say a big verse, I'm only.
Of course he's lying. Bantu technology says says I'm not a biter, I'm a writer. And we just have video proof. Whoever did this compilation is excellent. Shout out to them. Video proof of the dude biting off 2 mulatto dudes. The first guy was Ice-T. The second guy was Payroll. And rest in peace to him because he passed away. And actually, yeah, maybe I can segue into that before I get into the other shit that this clown ripped off. Because he ripped off some Tupac songs. That one song was Me and My Girlfriend. You know that song? Right?
No, I can't even say what happened after that. But some other shit transpired, and you know what I'm saying? And it was my song.
So it's a mulatto cat. This is the cat Payroll. And Jay-Z ripped off one of his songs. He's going to talk about it right now. Check it out.
It was my song, though. That's all I'm saying. That was my shit. But Jay, I think my show's a little better, fam. Just being real, though. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what happened. Just, you know, Kanye don't do a lot of his beats no way. He used little niggas around the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I know a whole bunch of little niggas that done did beats that Kanye just put his name behind. You know what I'm saying? But that's how the producers get in, though. You know, they real funny with their shit. So, whatever. I'm an artist, though. He used the same beat and the same hook. And he just said his own verse. It ain't Jay-Z's fault, though. Because if I'd have, you know what I'm saying, if I'd have heard another nigga, that was hot. Say it. It's my shit. I don't know payroll. Fuck the payroll. You know what I'm saying?
The gay part about
it's
it.
It's Kanye. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The gay part about it is my man didn't make no efforts to try to get the man.
Yeah, try to get at me.
You know, no efforts to try to get the man on the song.
Yeah.
I talk to these lawyers.
Oh, so many deals that didn't make no sense.
Over.
How about we just let you get on a song with Jay-Z? I'm with that.
He just wanted to get on a feature. Just wanted to get on a song. He was cool. He's like, you can take the song and remash it up and do it. That's cool, but just give me some clout. You know, the corporate establishment is promoting you. Like I said, back in 1998, that's when I remember Jay-Z on the scene. I just told you guys, I gave you a history lesson. Can I get a what is the song, whatever. He had Ja Rule on the track. And so that was back then, but I'm like, they were really promoting that guy in the machine, the corporate machine. So he must have been initiated during that time. I don't know. But I have no idea why he's so rich and relevant. I mean, I kind of already answered my own question because he took these rituals, but a lot of guys take these rituals, but they're not propelled to that same kind of level, right? Because there's in all across the music industry, you have initiates of the order, right? You have people within the heavy metal realm as well, because I follow heavy metal, and there's like a guy, of a band that I follow that I like, you know, and he's a Mason. And the thing is, it's like, well, his band is not really popular like that or anything. Like, he doesn't have that much notoriety. But it's interesting. Some guys kind of get selected to go into higher levels, if I can say that. I don't know how to phrase it. I don't know. And I think some people say it's based off deeds or merit or work. I think they talk about the works that you do, but I think it's like you got to sell your soul, to be honest with you. Jay-Z, like, is talentless hack. We've already demonstrated the lack of originality. Talentless hack. He has to steal from mulattoes, from this mulatto you see on the screen, and also Ice-T. What other song do you know of Jay-Z? I told you he has another song that he has with the mulatto called New York with Alicia Keys, right? We know she writes her music and she's been playing since piano and singing since she's a kid. White mom, biracial. Had to throw that out there for the black females who want to get uppity. But you got Jay-Z did a collab with her. And what other song is Jay-Z known for? He's got the Big Pimpin' or something, Spending G's. I think that's the song. Yeah, Big Pimpin', Spending G's. Okay, that was a cool track. I remember in high school hearing that shit. But that's it, playa. That's all you got. Like compared to all these other artists out here, that's what you're rocking with. Jay-Z, he did some little collab with like Linkin Park, which was gay and weak and whack. If I listen to Linkin Park, I think I was listening to a track earlier today when I was driving home from work. And I want to just listen to Linkin Park. I don't need Jay-Z's fruity ass, okay, jumping in there with his weak ass raps. Because I think they do have a song together, a collab or something, Jay-Z and Linkin Park. I don't know, man. Jay-Z, to me, he's, like I said, only people from the East Coast like try to like brag about him that he's special. Anybody that's outside of New York doesn't fuck with Jay-Z like that. I saw a video even earlier, it was like yesterday or something, of Future. I think Future's from Atlanta, so that's down south, Atlanta, Georgia. I think even Future he's on tape. He was in an interview literally saying a couple days ago, he doesn't remember any Jay-Z songs. He doesn't remember people bumping his shit in the club. No, man, I'm from the West Coast. People don't fuck with Jay-Z like that in the South or the West Coast. It's only people in the New York sphere, in New York, who try to promote him as if he's special or something. No, bro, you're mid. Jay-Z, you're not a cultural leader either. Yeah, he was telling Colin Kaepernick, right? I think we're done taking a knee. We're done with that. Let's move on from that. And then he fucking hires Kendrick Lamar to, throw out like smears and PDF smears at a biracial man. You see this shit? Throwing Colin Kaepernick under the bus, signing deals with whites. Isn't that what the Bantus tell you? Or they project it onto you, rather, right? Dark-skinned Bantus who are pro-wax. Isn't that what they say? They say the mulatto secretly works with the whites, right? Isn't that what they say? You're signing deals with the whites, working with the whites to undermine the blacks. But then you see Jay-Z, okay, who's literally working with Roger Goodell of the NFL, doing business agreements, right? Signing contracts to undermine the mulatto man, Colin Kaepernick. It's always projection with the Afrocentric pro-whack Bantu. Always. Everything they accuse you of, that's what they are doing behind closed doors. Always. You guys, listen to my words, please. If you take anything out of this message, this live stream, whatever, dark-skinned, African-American, Afrocentric, pro-whack Bantus are always operating on projection. Whatever they throw at a mulatto man, if they tell you you don't like your black side, or you just want white people's acceptance, whenever a Bantu tells you that, it's always projection with them. Please just understand that. If there's anything you learn or you absorb from this message.
They weren't even with
No,
that.
we can't do that. No,
Right.
no, I can't. No, we can't do that. I was with that. Oh, me and Zay on the song. Yeah,
But
for
you know
sure.
what I think it was, honestly?
It was just
honestly,
jacking
honestly,
in
I
its
think-
finest.
Honestly, I think it was.
They run over the
motherfuckers
small
didn't-
guy.
Right. Motherfuckers didn't want nobody to know.
Wait, did he say they ran over the small hats? Is that what he said? Let me just see. Let me just double check. I can't do captions on this video. Let me listen closely.
I think it was.
They run over the
motherfuckers
small
didn't-
guy.
Right. Motherfuckers didn't want
I don't know. I missed it. What he said. Small something there. I don't know.
nobody to know Jay didn't do this.
Yeah.
So
you don't
fuck
want to hurt
payroll.
Zay. Yeah.
Put payroll in.
He could have said they ran over the small guys, meaning because he's a lower level artist. And Jay-Z was, like I said, was getting promoted by the machine at that time all over MTV. Because you guys got to understand, I'm a millennial. So there was a time when there was no Spotify or Pandora, whatever you guys use, YouTube for your music. Like, you had like MTV. We had to go to the record store and buy a CD. Like the digital revolution wasn't really kicking in then at that time, late 90s, early 2000s. It took a couple years after that. But yeah, the way we consumed music, which was what was on the radio or that was on TV, MTV particularly, It was radio and then television. Those were the mediums that we use to consume content, audio or visual, whatever. And Jay-Z got the promotion. I'm telling you, all the debauchery and MTV promoted all that debauchery with Jay-Z and Foxy Brown. I like Missy Elliott. She was popping at that time. Missy Elliott is talented. I like Missy Elliott. Shout out to her. And I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, Mariah Carey, obviously very talented. She was promoted at that time. And yeah. So I don't know, but I always saw Jay-Z, like I'm saying, like as a kid, I was like, this guy is not really popping. There's nothing special. I'd rather pay money to go watch Missy Elliott in concert than Jay-Z. But for whatever reason, Jay-Z is more popular than Missy Elliott, even though, in my opinion, he's less talented. Missy Elliott's more original, has her own swag and style. But you want to know why he's more popular? There's your answers. You got it. It's right there. You don't have to look too far. It's just right in front of you. So let me finish. I'm blabbing a lot, but that's kind of how we do these things here. Let me continue on with this. Because this Jay-Z guy is going to start robbing songs from Tupac also. So he's building his name and his brand and image off stealing from other artists. How original is that? How authentic is that? Remember, the same people who say this about Drake, they're never going to say this about Jay-Z. You notice how like the dark skins are protected in their community when they commit crimes, when they commit savagery, when they're unethical, when they're scammers and thieves. You notice how dark skins, they don't hold these other Bantus accountable. But whenever you as a mulatto, you're in their spaces trying to like be cool with them, whatever, like Drake, you're navigating their spaces. Whenever you do something, you slip up, all of a sudden they like highlight it. They have like a whole magnifying glass over it. And I know there's this whole situation right now with this reality TV show, dating show called Love Island, which I don't watch, but there's someone who messaged me. I think it was the same cat. No, it was actually a different cat. It was actually another mulatto cat. Patriarchy Strikes Back. Shout out to you, bro. You know who you are if you listen to this. Patriarchy Strikes Back. Mulatto cat. He actually messaged me a few days ago. He wanted me to talk about the Love Island shit. I'm like, man, I wish I could. I appreciate the kind of recommendation, but I don't watch that shit. And I seen a couple of people put videos and have some commentary because a lot of the blacks, the dark skins, like they're hating on mixed people and light skinned people, like loving on each other. But it's like, that's part of their group. Like that's what they do. I just don't watch Love Island. I have no interest in it. I don't care. I want you guys maybe provide some commentary. I don't care. Not interested. I like hip hop. I consume hip hop. So this is more of my kind of area where I can talk about these dynamics because I already gave you guys kind of historical, kind of references just for me, even as a kid, listening to this shit and looking at these kind of players involved. You got, Jay-Z here. Like, how is he famous? Even like the Kanye West, like, yeah, these people are fucking weird. I don't know how they get famous and shit, man. Then, whatever. Yeah, but the whole thing is the whole Love Island thing, people want me to talk about that, but it's, similar thing, right? Dark skins are crying on the internet. They're calling you guys paper bags, right? That's a new term they use for you light skins. They're calling you paper bags, and light skins are such pussies, man, that they try to like fit in with dark skinned Bantus. That's the best part about it. And Bantus are publicly telling you that you're not a part of their group. You're a paper bag, The paper bags are always going to date other paper bags. That's hilarious. It's hilarious and funny because I'm an outsider looking in. I'm not from your people and your culture and your group. Not from your tribe, but I look at these light skins who still think this is a game and shit out here. It's hilarious to witness it.
Bigging up my brother,
Ambitions as a writer, yeah, Tupac, right? So he just ripped off the whole lyrics, just switched up the beat. Born rough and rugged, yeah, he ripped off the entire lyrics of Tupac on that song. There you go. And of course, Tupac is one of the more creative artists. And he was, of course, classically trained in theater arts. He's a flamboyant bisexual Tupac. So of course he was in the theater realm. He found a good grift at that time, the moment, the gangster rap grift. So he jumped in it, was successful. I'm not taking away his art, you know. And that's a good song, Ambitions as a writer and all that. Yeah, he's able to flow on the beat and shit. It's popping. It's like, yeah. So, but yeah, this guy Jay-Z is just ripping off his shit, stealing his shit. Crazy. But then if Drake, has a little like Caribbean accent, because he experiments with that. Drake will experiment with different like Caribbean accents. And yeah, it doesn't sound good. There's a song he has, it's called Hype. Drake is a hit. Check out the song Hype by Drake. I don't know when he released it. It's one of his earlier tracks. And I like his flows in the track. I like the chorus, the flows, his raps are solid. It's a good rap song. For me, I like the rap song by Drake called Hype. But at the beginning of the song, the intro, he puts on this very like weird kind of Caribbean like accent. He's trying to talk like it's like it doesn't sound good. I'm gonna admit that, But he tries, he experiments. But people will like hate on him for doing that for Drake. He's cosplaying. That's what they say, the Bantus. He's cosplaying. He's experimenting, You guys know Tariq Nasheed did like a fake ass Jamaican song. As much as Tariq Nasheed talks shit about like Jamaicans, calls them tethers and stuff. And Tariq Nasheed, he's a fucking fake. He's a part of the industry. And like, yeah, I saw a video the other day. Shout out to the cat. I forgot the dude's name. There's a YouTube channel here, and he played a song where Tariq was like pretending to be like a reggae artist and shit. Isn't that funny? He talks so much. See, they're hypocrites. These type of people, man, they only want to single out the biracial man like a Drake. You have you under a microscope. Anything you do, they're like, oh, you're cosplaying. You're not authentic. You're faking. But when Tariq Nasheed does it, it's all good. When fucking Jay-Z rips off people's songs, it's all good. No mention about that, Yeah. So let me continue on with this.
My attitude is fucking cause motherfuckers love it. Got back. I knew you bitch niggas from way back. Witness me strapped with Max. Knew I wouldn't play that. Nigga, this the payback. I know you bitch niggas from way back.
Okay, so he stole the lyrics. That's the second song from Tupac, right? That's Tupac lyrics. And then, of course, Me and My Girlfriend, that's another song he steals. The dude's a straight plagiarist, man, Jay-Z. But see, people have compiled this data now. And I started off, like I said, with the two Mulatto cats, where it's like, man, this is right in front of your face. They'll never mention this. They'll always talk about Drake, what he does that's bad. But if you are a dark-skinned Bantu in the Black community, okay, you are protected. You have the dark skin privilege. Okay, dark skins, they have a hive mindset. They're going to protect other dark skinned Bantus. So if you are a light skinned mixed man still trying to play by the rules with these people, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to be over here in my corner of the internet laughing at your ass and clowning you. It makes absolutely no sense. The evidence is right in front of your eyes. Okay, your ops, these people, they're doing voodoo and burning sage and getting initiated in the cults. They're a part of gang stalking networks. These people hate your ass. They make all these videos talking shit about biracials, okay? Everything that you do is wrong. You give them a little bit of pushback, they start to whine and cry and spiral out of control, right?
Niggas want to clown with the pound and don't play that. All I need in this life is sin. It's me and my girlfriend. All I need in this life is sin. It's me and my girlfriend.
Yeah, and that's one song that he got that's kind of like more well known, right? The song's called Bonnie and Clyde, right? And you took that song from Tupac, homie. Like Tupac has so many hits. Like Tupac is one of the best artist in the rap game, even still today. People can kind of compare Drake to him. Drake transcends hip hop because he's like a pop star, because he's so versatile. He does R&B, he can sing, and he can rap. And that's the thing where Tupac was more one-dimensional, where he rapped. But again, I didn't mention him earlier. Tupac's also a great actor, right? Like I said, during that time when Ice-T was doing these flicks and shit, And you had Tupac, who I like Tupac's movies. He was the villain in Juice, and he did Poetic Justice with Janet Jackson. He did Above the Rim, and I think he did another film. I think he has 4 film credits, if I'm not mistaken. He's done a few films, and they're all actually good. They're all actually good. But then again, it makes sense because he's trained in theater arts. He went to college for as a theater student. So he's talented. It makes sense, all right. But he raps. His rap songs are good, and he has a lot of hits. And then this Jay-Z guy is no originality. He's got to rip off what Tupac was already did, already solidified him. He already has bangers and hits. You got to steal what he's doing. You can't create your own shit. Drake creates his own shit. Listen to the album Iceman, like this recent album. I played the song like Whisper My Name. Original song. Is there any other song that sounds like that? I can't name one song that sounds like that. Maybe give me some time. Maybe you guys can fill me in. I don't know. But like even the song like What Did I Miss or National Treasure or Shebang, that people are dancing into that song, Shebang. Oops, All of My Ops, They Dead, all that shit. Like, and then what's the other song he has on that track? Janice. Shut the fuck up, Janice. What other song sounds like that? I mean, Drake, to me, it seems pretty original to me. Oh, but he has ghostwriters. That's what the Bantus are going to tell you. He doesn't write his own music. Other people write it for him. He doesn't have talent. He's a pop star. That's what the Bantus tell you. But they give Jay-Z a pass. You notice that? Jay-Z ripping off these mulattoes, ripping off Tupac and shit. Tupac's not a mulatto. I know some idiot Bantu's going to listen to me say this, be like, oh, Tupac's not mulatto. Never said he was. I'm saying he ripped off the mulatto, was it Payroll, and the other mulatto, Ice-T. Ripping them off, and he's ripping off Tupac. He's ripping off a lot of people. And even people who signed with his record label deal, he's ripping these artists off and shit too. There's probably a lot of other dirt. I'm not going to get into it because it's not mulatto related. It's hip-hop related. But I know Jay-Z's done a lot of people dirty. So he's got a lot of enemies.
Suede Tim's on my beats, make my cipher complete. S-Shots on my feet, make my cipher complete.
There you go. And he didn't he have a beef with Nas? Jay-Z had a beef with Nas, but here he is still ripping off his music and shit. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. We're about an hour into this. I don't know if there's anything else I want to share. I'll check out some of your guys' comments. I just wanted to highlight that. I'll share that whole little compilation, with you guys in the description. Shout out to the biracial man. I think it's Proud Biracial Savage. That's his name. Shout out to him because he shared this with me earlier today. And I saw this like, oh, let me, jump up here and talk about this because it's relevant, it's new, and it's you guys are kind of, inquiring about it, right? So yeah, and I know some of you are inquiring about Love Island, but sorry guys, I don't give a shit about dating shows. Okay. I'm interested in money, power, and social mobility. Okay, who people choose to kind of mess around with, that's kind of a lower level issue. I don't care. That doesn't move the needle. And the reason why, like I said, what's more relevant is, of course, what I already shared with you earlier. And I'll share it again. And I'm questioning, I think that's Alan Greenspan right there. Okay, you have the former Fed chair right there, the lightest skinned guy right there. And do you think, I maybe see if I can confirm Alan Greenspan in room with Jay-Z. Is it going to be confirmed? Let's see what AI has to say. Yeah, I have to probably do more research. They're going to kind of like try to bury this and hide it. You know how AI is completely biased, right? Which is obvious. You guys should know that. I want to do a prompt earlier today for some like project, some material. And I think which one was it? It was Copilot, which is Microsoft, Bill Gates. Mulatto is a derogatory word. Why don't you use a different word? Fuck you, like that's what we're up against. We got to fight back against these machines and these creatures and savages and saboteurs and Satanists. Literally, we have to fight back against all these different kind of forces, Crazy. But yeah, they're trying to shadow ban us and bury us and shit. And you got guys like me that's basically like, I have nothing to lose. My life is pretty good. I feel pretty blessed. And I just want to be around my tribe. I want to be around mulattoes. The reason why I'm up here is because I want to connect with mulattoes and be around mulattoes. And I'm fulfilling my purpose here. So yeah, who do I got on screen right here? I got Langston Hughes. Because remember, he's a famous poet here in the United States. And he actually wrote a play called Mulatto. It was a play that he wrote. And it's interesting because yeah, they're gonna claim everything that you do and steal it and take it and make it a part of their culture, right? W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, Bob Marley, reggae music, right? Drake, hip hop. Everything you do that's good, they're gonna steal it and claim it as their own. But at the same time, they'll look at you and say, well, you have no culture. We're like, what gives? What gives? The greatest contributors to culture and civilization have been mulattoes, especially in the Western Hemisphere. Latin America, the Caribbean, North America. I mean, that's just a fact. They can't deny. They will try to deny. They'll challenge you. But this is why you need voices out here to push back. Okay. Jay-Z stinks. Yeah, he does. He's bad. And Tigerian Mulatto, shout out to you. And shout out to the Owl Show, puts depends on what you mean by belief. Freemasons, demonic. He did things like many of these people are willing to do, even when it corrupts their soul. Yeah, his soul is corrupt, right? I already knew, like, when he like was getting married to Beyonce, right, and that was kind of, I guess, released. I kind of already knew that this is just some, how do I want to phrase this? Like complete facade, basically. This kind of satanic theater. You're a pop star, Jay-Z. No, he's a rapper. He's a crackhead, crack dealer from Brooklyn. He's a real one. He a real nigga from the hood. He with the culture, the people, right? Jay-Z. So that's why he had to let his little afro out when he does little gay ass like raps. And he has to put the afro out. He has to that's how they virtue signal black people, right? And that's what the biracial dude Colin Kaepernick did, who, by the way, Jay-Z threw under the bus. But yeah, Colin Kaepernick put his little afro out, the virtue signal. But that's what Jay-Z's doing too. Same shit. You see how they always copy these mulattoes and shit? Jay-Z's trying to get his street cred back. He's got to put out his little afro, virtue signal blacks. Like, I'm actually for you people. I'm a fucking billionaire, crack dealer and shit. Fuck out of here, man. And yeah, the soul corrupts the soul. They got to sell their soul to Satan. I already knew, like, I'm seeing him married to Beyonce, like a match made in hell. Like these two famous people like coming together. Is it love? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I know I heard, because I'm from Anaheim, California, which our like kind of hometown hero is Gwen Stefani. You guys know Gwen Stefani from No Doubt, female kind of rock star singer. And I know she married a rock star from England, dude from the band Bush or whatever. They were married, whatever. And now Gwen Stefani's married to a country singer. I forgot the cat's name, whatever. What I'm getting at is I never felt like it was kind of like corporate shill vibes with Gwen Stefani. I kind of felt like it's just who she vibed with, like who she was around, and like she connected with a dude who have similar status as her, right? Or musicians in the industry, like. When I look at Gwen Stefani, right? But then when I look at like Jay-Z and Beyonce, I already knew like intuitively, this is fake. There's something about this that's fraudulent. It's a farce. It's fugazi. I knew it was fake. This is some like weird initiation. Like Jay-Z is given, how is he given access to all this, Beyonce, NFL deal, and like $1 billion. Like, no, like there's something else going on here. They're not telling us. And Jay-Z he's makes songs about talking about selling crack and how he did it. He's not going to make songs about these deals he's making behind the scenes. That's what these dumb Negroes never want to ask. How is it that Jay-Z has all this money? What's up with these deals he's making behind the scenes? How come he's not putting out these songs and records for these kids, telling them, hey, start an LLC, open up a business. You need to market yourself like that. He's going to charge you Negroes. That's why Drake dissed his ass. He talked about $500K for a dinner. What would you rather take? $500,000, or would you rather sit down and have dinner with Jay-Z? He's mocking his own race, saying you got to pay him $500,000 to ask him some business advice. And you see him all up in there with these whites like Harvey Weinstein and shit. Fuck out of here. But he's for the culture. He's for the culture. Let me pull up Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein. Hilarious. You can't make this shit up. It's too good to be true. Like, this is the content is just right in front of you. How the fuck are you sitting up here with Hollywood's #1 predator, Jay-Z, and you want to act like you're innocent, nigga? Like, what? How are you innocent standing up here sitting signing fucking Harvey Weinstein? You're all up with these predators, man. You got videos and pictures of him with P. Diddy and shit who's serving time. Like, let me see if I can pull something up real quick. Yeah, because I saw a clip the other day. I was like, the jokes write themselves, don't they? Let me find this. Yeah, here we go. I got this. This is so insane, man. This is too good to be true. Where am I at? Let me go. It says throwback. Harvey Weinstein comes to the aid of Jay-Z after the New York rapper gets asked about Donald Trump.
What it means for what it means for mass incarceration.
You know what? This is a labor of love.
That's fucking Harvey Weinstein. You guys know who he is? This guy's been convicted of like abusing multiple women. They threw his ass in the can, basically destroyed his career. Deservingly, he deserves all the shit he gets. This guy is an abuser, a predator. He used his position in Hollywood to prey on women. He's a powerful like broker, and he decides who gets to be in what movie, who gets to be in what commercial, who gets to get the radio deals. He's basically the handler right here for Jay-Z. He's acting as his handler. He's pulling Jay-Z away from a reporter.
And as a result, he's my friend. We're here.
That's his friend. Yeah, that's your fucking boy. Okay, that's your fucking boy there. That's your asset. Okay.
Talk about that and nothing else.
Well, then, can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think
you see that he's speaking for his fucking boy? He tells a reporter, "Oh, we're done. We're done here. We're going." See, he's speaking the Jewish guy speaking for the black right here, telling them, "We're done asking questions. No more questions. Let's go." Wow, you got bitched out, Jay-Z, trying to talk all tough with the biracial man Drake, who's half Jewish, of course, but he's a younger man trying to build his kind of his empire, essentially. Harvey Weinstein's already an older fella, already kind of plugged into the network, and as a power broker in that industry. You guys see that shit? Hanging out with predators and shit. That's basically his handler. You see him with P. Diddy and all this. Fuck out of here. Let's continue on. He put, yeah, the witchcraft and all that. Yeah, and like I said, shout out to Globelite because he highlights that as well. Not that many people talk about that, you know, especially in these spaces. They don't talk about that, make that connection with these witches and shit. And you have too much of that. You have a lot of that. And that's why I think you see like the hate that you get as a light-skinned mixed man. You know, you have a lot of these people where they're straight up fucking witches. They don't like you. What else do I have to say about that? Maybe someone else who has more information on that can speak on that. Or maybe myself, I can do some more research. But I think Globalite is on to something. Shout out to him, Globalite. I think he's on to something. He mentions that. He's pretty good at articulating these messages. You put here the Owl Show. You have the brainwashed biracial guys who see themselves as simply light-skinned blacks. I know. I saw a clip earlier. I think it was from Biracial Awareness. I think it was. I think it was on his TikTok page though. Some goofy ass young biracial kid. Oh, it's right here. Let me share it with you guys. So he uploaded it to his YouTube as well. Let me pull it up. Some little young pussy biracial dude who's trying to act like he's black and shit. you know, and I think he's like a Gen Z guy, okay, Zoomer guy. But I'm like, man, you motherfuckers out here still trying to act like you're fucking black. Like, you guys are gonna get fucking clowned into oblivion out here. I'm telling you, man. I'm just getting started. But 2026, applying pressure. I'm gonna clown all you motherfuckers. And for you fellas, you dudes, yeah, I got a short coming up for you. I did the Kun Lada thing, whatever short I did, couple of them. Yeah, I got one for you dudes, you fellas. A lot of these older cats too, but now I got one coming for you guys. I'm gonna apply pressure to all you motherfuckers. And this young dude here, like this guy tries to act so black. Says mulatto people are not black. Black identified mulatto gets his mulatto wake up call. I don't think he's gonna get woken up yet. The dark skins are gonna have to punk his ass because I mean, I don't know if he was raised around them, but he thinks he's one of them. And this dude's telling him, "Hey, you're not black, bro."
Think you're black. My mother is black. I have no attachment to the white side of my.
Okay, your mom's black. Okay, he says he has no attachment to the white side. But even looking at you, bro, you're not black. I don't give a fuck about your little fruity ass haircut and the little gay jewelry you got on. You don't look like a black to me, homie. So what's the other story? Okay, you talked about your mom's black. Okay, what's up with your dad? Let's tune in.
My family. Shout out to my dad, though. He's also a black white person.
Shout out to my dad, though. He's also a black white person. This black guy's like, wait a second, wait, your dad's black white? What is this fucking fool talking about?
He's white. Yeah, but he's very so cultured. But he's white. He's cultured, though.
What does that even mean? He's cultured, but he's white. Okay, your dad's white. Okay, nigga, you're not black, bro. You have a white parent. I don't know why we have people out here walking out here still pretending this shit. And it's in the reverse as well. Okay, so don't get all uppity guys and start to cry. It's even worse because most of your biracial in the United States got white moms. And you have a lot of these idiots out here with their white mama running out here acting like they're black. You got like J. Cole, I clown his ass. Like he's got a white mama. He wants to act like he's black. So it's even worse with them. But I'm just using this example right now because I saw this, the other or today, whatever, biracial awareness shared it. And you got people, this is a Gen Z guy. He's younger than me. He's probably a decade younger than me. He's in his 20s. Still out here trying to convince blacks and shit that he's just like them. Fuck out of here. You're a fool. You're a punk. And we should laugh at you.
Does he have black in him?
He doesn't have black in him, so he's not black.
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
What did that have to do with anything? He's not black, no black in him. What does that have to do? That's you, nigga. Like, you got a white daddy, homie. You ain't black. But you have to clown these fools until they understand the reality of the situation, unfortunately. And I love it when blacks clown them. See, because this is kind of a man-to-man conversation, right? So you already know black males do a far better job at gatekeeping blackness than black women. We already know that, right? That's why blacks are crying about Drake, because they expect a dark skin to be the masculine representative of hip hop, of black male expression. They hate the fact that it's actually a biracial man who can also sing love songs too, who bangs all the baddies, got all the money and shit, the status. He can go around the planet, Australia, Japan, around the world. He's from Canada. We can travel around the world and sell out arenas. And they hate the fact that it's not a dark-skinned Bantu that can do that. The only person that comes close in music would be like a Kanye West. Jay-Z doesn't pull like that. He's an old nigga. He's antiquated. He's trying to get his little clout right now. It's only going to last 15 minutes of fame. You're done, bro. People have moved on. And now we know you're a fucking scammer and shit. And you're a plagiarist. You're ripping people's songs off and shit. You sell your soul to the devil to get billions and shit. Like, you're a scum, Jay-Z, which we Ben knew. I mean, your background story, you're a crack dealer from fucking Brooklyn. I mean, how pathetic is that? But you got to do it to support your family, blah, blah. See, because that's what Biggie Smalls was pushing, right? In that song Juicy, he was like, oh man, I'm just outside here selling crack so I can support my daughter. Like, they try to romanticize that struggle. But these guys are studio gangsters. They're telling other people's stories and they're putting it in their own poetry and selling you like this kind of false reality. That's not what they're doing. I don't know, Biggie Smalls. I don't know, he's what, from fucking Kingston. He's from Jamaica or something. And then yeah, Jay-Z. Whatever. All I know is a lot of these dudes are selling their souls to the devil and selling a fake kind of false image, and they're making money and they're doing deals, and they can do what they want, their business and all that. But they're talking about mulattoes, and you know what? The mulattoes are listening, and we're watching, we're analyzing, and that's why we're here.
White. He's asked, but what does that have to do with anything? I was just letting you know. You said he was white and black. No, he's not white and black. So, like, you feel like you was a slave? What would you be in the house outside? I don't know. Whatever they choose, bro.
I don't know, bro. Wherever they choose, bro. Where's your white daddy gonna put you at, homie? You know, because you understand with the English common law, like you take on the status of the mother, right? The partus sequitur ventrem, right? Which is this Latin rule. You take on the status of the mom. So, and he's sitting here acting oblivious to the history and legality of the area he's in. He's like, yeah, you know, where's your daddy gonna put you at, bro? This guy's sitting here like a fool. The whole thing here where I got to press on this because you guys try way too hard. You make the rest of us look weak and soft. You're standing in front of this black guy. You need to tell him I'm biracial. And the black guy's going to tell you, well, you're the seed of your father. It's like, no, the father only determines the gender, the sex of the child, doesn't determine the race. I'm a combination of two races, which forms a new race called mulatto. There's no such thing as mulatto. That's a slur. No, we've reclaimed it. That's how I identify, and that's just the end of the story. We've debunked everything they've thrown at us. Everything they have, they've thrown at us, we've debunked it. Okay, but it's sad because this guy's not well equipped with this information. You know, this guy's jumping out here trying to defend his position of blackness, looking dumb in the process.
I have nappy hair, probably outside. You would let them send you outside? I wouldn't care.
You hear that? He has no autonomy. He's just a mark. And that's why the dark skins don't respect you, because he's sitting there saying, oh, I don't care. The black guy asked him, you're going to let them just throw you out there? You're not going to fight, put up a fight. You're going to let them throw it. He says, well, I don't care. I just go where I fit in. I got nappy hair. I'm going to be with the dark skins. My mom a dark skin. We're like, and they don't respect you. You don't deserve respect. You're a mark. He has no autonomy. He's not going to look the man in his eye and tell him, no, this is my position. This is where I'm going to be at. Okay. Do something. Move around. Do something. This is what it is. He doesn't stand on business. That's how they say it, right? Standing on business. He's not doing that. You know, whatever they want to put me. Yes, sir. I'll take it. I'll do that. This is some weak shit, bro.
Do you much have a choice to choose what you want to do when you're a slave? You do. You're light skinned. I guess. They gave you favoritism because you was halfway in, halfway out.
Any mixed person that is checking the other box, you need not say the N-word. You're not one of us. And
I'm not one of you, but I'm still going to say nigga. And I'll say nigga to your face. And I'll say it when I'm online on YouTube as well. And there's nothing you're going to do about it, nigga. You can try, nigga. But there's nothing you could do except make your little ghetto ass video laying in bed, broke as fuck. It's all good though, nigga. It's all good.
it's okay. Because for the whole of our lives, anybody born like late millennial, Gen Z, and anybody born in Gen Z, the whole of our lives, on any government document you have ever had to submit in your life, before you get to the race portion, they say check all that applies. Check all that applies. If you identify as both black and white, check both black and white. How do y'all think they get data on mixed race people?
Yeah. I think that's about it. Let me you know what? I saw a dude want to jump on a panel. I don't know if he's still tuned in, Day. Let me pin this the link, or the Al shows here. Al, if you want to jump on the panel, I got the link pinned. You can jump up on the panel. I haven't talked to you in a minute. So if you want to kind of add some thoughts, I'm all open to that. Yeah, but I want to highlight your comment, share that clip I saw today. It says you have the brainwashed biracial guys who see themselves. That's what you just saw, Exhibit A. Still today, you got these Gen Z in his 20s. Still today, thinks he's just black. And a black guy looks at him like, wait a second, bro. And of course, they use a slavery reference, which is pretty old. But yeah, it's kind of typical at this point. The Bantu is the most fake, phony, insensitive human on the planet. I don't know about that, but that's your words. I believe nothing they say. I don't believe anything most people say, right? And laugh. Yeah, especially when it comes to race issues, you should never take a monoracial person's perspective at all, black or white, both. You should don't take their information. If you want to consult on racial affairs, figure out what you are and ultimately what you identify as, right? Because it seems like they kind of have an acceptance for like this trans raciality and even transsexualism. Like they have an acceptance for that. It's just when it comes to mulattoism, that's when people start to fight. And more than the Anglos, the white supremacists, the dark skinned blacks, the Bantus, they fight us worse than the white supremacists. And we're scratching our heads. Why? It's because like they're all in on it, the monoracial supremacists. Like they have a system in place that works in their favor. They're used to it, they're accustomed to it. They want to keep us and maneuver us in a position of subordinates. I got someone on the panel. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you. Radio's good. What's up?
Okay, yeah. I was just gonna say, so I myself am mulatto. I'm biracial. I didn't start identifying that way until I actually started watching your videos, so credit to you.
That's what's
I
up.
would,
Appreciate that.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
How long,
I,
real quick, how long you been listening or tuning in, watching my content?
I want to say since like March, February, so not very long.
3 months. Okay, for sure.
Yeah, and I would say like I've only been watching your videos kind of like here and there, like when I'm at work and stuff. But more recently, since I've been getting more days at Amazon and on the road like delivering, I've been listening to your stuff a lot more. But it's tough out here, man, because I'm also a SoCal guy just like you. I grew up in Diamond Bar. I grew up in Walnut, Rolling Heights, that whole area. You know, everybody out there is Asian. I don't know if you're familiar with the area.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, that's what's up. Then, but yeah, man, it's tough out here because I don't know any mixed race people out here who identify really as mixed. Like most of them just identify as black, bro.
Yeah, no.
And it's tough, man, because the consciousness is not there yet. So it's kind of sad in a sense. And a lot of the, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but I do feel like a lot of the biracial people or mixed people or mulattoes, especially who identify that way, are kind of outliers. They are kind of, strange in a sense. They're not, you know what I mean? I don't want to say socially awkward, but they're not normal, I guess. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
we should
And
embrace.
I
I
don't want to
embrace.
be mean.
Yeah, there's like no offense. I mean, I'm the guy, and what you're saying right there, I'm that guy. You can say like I guess socially awkward or not hip or whatever. That's cool. I embrace that. We call it the proverbial gray. It's an area that I found kind of comfort in. I mean, this is like my destiny and calling. But I attended events in my area that I live in, my city. I attended an event, and it was two mulattoes who led the whole. And there is their artists. There's like R&B, neo soul, jazz, hip hop
Okay.
artists, male and female mulatto. Okay, small club, and they're young mulattoes in their 20s, and they musicians and singers, and they led the event, and I went there and supported them. But they're black identified. They're talking about in the area they're in. They're like, oh, this we're gonna try to make this the blackest, this and black, black, black. I think that's most mulattoes around the
I know, man. I know.
whatever state. Like you go to Florida, to California, New York, like most of your mulattoes, they are not like adept or they haven't really tapped into this consciousness. But people like you just found this 3 months ago. So like that's the whole thing is with the mulattoes I'm talking about at that show, who knows, maybe a year or 2 years from now, they might start putting two and two together. Like they might start kind of absorbing someone else's content or situations happen where they start
Yeah,
questions.
it's hard though because it's like the problem is this, like most of us, maybe you're an exception, but most of us basically our entire lives grew up identifying as black. You know what I mean?
Well, I've
Like
been
it's not.
biracial. For me, I'm a more so stand. Sorry to cut you off. I'll just
No,
say
go ahead.
I wanted to make this known that like I never always identified as black. I mean, I've always been biracial identified. I never really had the vocabulary because I was raised more so race neutral from my white mom, and my black family, they're heavily Christian, so they never pushed like a race kind of realism. It was mostly mainly just Christianity, be a good person. It wasn't until like in high school when I started to kind of ask questions, and that's when I kind of led more into the black kind of identity later years in high school towards graduation into early like college. I just want to say that I wasn't always black identified. It was just searching for purpose, getting into adulthood. That's when I started to kind of move into those spaces. Yeah, go ahead though. Sorry.
No, it's all right. I was just gonna say, I mean, it just feels like from an early age, a lot of mulattoes identified as black because it was just easier, or they weren't really tapped in with the other side of their family. Like, I'll give you an example for myself, right? My dad is Salvadoran, but he's white. He's paper white, right? He's a white Salvadoran, and he was born in America. So like he's already Americanized, you know what I mean? Has a lot of white friends and whatnot. And my mom is black. Both of them, though, were born in Los Angeles. And my mom, who is black, also went to school in Walnut. So she was a minority growing up. Like she didn't grow up having like the traditional black upbringing, you know what I mean? Like where you're living in the South or living on the East Coast. She was living around mostly Hispanics and Asians and whites, you know what I mean? When she was growing up and going to school when her dad moved out here. And then my dad, he who was also born out here, it's interesting because he kind of grew up as like a as like one of those guys in the 90s, like for a second generation American, grew up in Los Angeles in the 90s. He was big on like West Coast rap, he was big on Tupac, all that shit, right? And so he kind of like, I guess in a sense, like idealized black culture, you know what I mean? And maybe that's why he married a black woman. I'm not sure, but I think that might be a part of it. And so what I'm saying is like I never really experienced like a lot of pressure from my mom to really like deeply identify with black culture. And I more so, I guess, kind of got that from my dad a little bit, you know what I mean? Because he's always talked about like how much he loves black women, and he would like for me to marry a black woman and whatnot. But the interesting thing is like, bro, I grew up in Diamond Bar. My best friend growing up was Chinese and Vietnamese. He was my next door neighbor. And then when we moved to Texas, they moved me into a white neighborhood. They sent me to a white school. But most of my friends growing up were white. All my childhood best friends were white. And then my other childhood best friend, who I still talk to this day, he was also a mulatto. His dad was an Anglo English, and his mom was black. And so it's like my whole thing is like basically you spend your entire life identifying as black for the sake of simplicity, just because it's easier and because you do run into black people. But once I started listening to your videos, I started to reflect, and I was like, man, like my childhood best friend growing up was Asian, the other ones were white, one of them was biracial. I spent most of my time being a minority at white schools or Asian schools. Like I did not have the traditional black experience growing up. And when I finally went to a black school in Virginia, I went to George Mason for 2 years. That was the first time I was ever in a friend group that was majority black. Dude, I could tell I was totally different from these guys, like totally different. Like just the pop culture movie references that they would make, I would have no idea what they'd be talking about. They'd be talking about like these black romance movies that they watched growing up, and I would be the only one who didn't know. They had just different senses of humor, different sensibilities. And so I kind of felt like performative, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but I felt like performative being around them. And so even after coming to all these realizations and kind of like looking back on it, not identifying as black was still really difficult, bro. Like it was a process that you have to go through to like kind of move yourself away from that identity. And it's like I had no experience growing up with black culture, you know what I mean? And it was hard for me. So I don't know how you're gonna. I don't want to be a doom or anything, but it's just like I don't know how we're gonna get a whole bunch of mulattoes to kind of identify that way. You know what I mean? That's
Well,
just my experience.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. It's good to hear that you listen to me, while driving, doing work in Amazon. That's very flattering. I appreciate that. Like, so the message is reaching people, and like I feel like I'm winning. I got a guy like you
That's
on the
good.
panel. You said you found one of my videos, whatever, in March, and here you are talking to me live in front of a whole audience. Like, so what I'm
Mm,
doing is working, and for me, I feel very validated by that, knowing that there's people young and old, because I'm in my mid 30s, who resonate with the message.
damn.
I got a message from a dude earlier today. He wants to keep it private, but I think I referenced it earlier on this stream. The dude's like in the 70s or early 70s or 60s or whatever. And the guy, like, I'm checking the message. He says something about 1965, man. He was talking about the one drop rule,
Ah,
and he said he's 65 right now, or yeah, 65 years old. So he's in his 60s, and he messaged me today telling me like that I kind of give him strength, because it is on Facebook. He sees some of my posts, like, because I bang hard for mulattoes and biracial. That's my brand. But
awesome.
my thing is that it reaches people in different stages, right? So like, my goal is not to like get this whole massive audience. That would be great, but I'm not going to be like a Jay-Z and sell my soul to the devil to do it.
No,
Like,
don't do that yet.
it's not my goal to like get everyone on board or all this. No, I just, as long as I can, my whole goal here is to connect with mulattoes. I want to connect with mulattoes and mulattas. That's my goal here. And I'm doing that. So I'm accomplishing my goal. So like, I don't have any problems or issues. Like, it's serving its purpose. What I'm here to do is to build fellowship, connections, and networks, and a sense of community and belonging and tribe with mulattoes. And people listen, we share stories. That is the basic function of community formation, is by sharing stories. And we're doing that,
Right.
and we can connect on these.
It's so crucial.
It's crucial. It's relatable, right? And you're from the same area as me, SoCal, and I get what you're saying. Yeah, not most mulattoes don't identify as mulatto, but what it is as well, like you said, it's easier for them to just, you know, adopt the black identity. Number one, it's easier, and it's probably more beneficial in some cases. But then number two, mulattoes don't feel like they have another option. They have to do the
Yeah,
research.
exactly.
Like, I don't know how you found my channel. Did someone share it with you, or you did an internet search, the algorithm? But people have to do research, or like people search for answers. I feel like most people who find me, my channel, it's because they're looking for answers. Like, and they
So
type in. Go ahead.
I can actually tell you how I found you. So, you know Tariq Nasheed, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know him.
Yeah, I fucking hate Tariq Nasheed, man. He made a video where he was jumping on Tyla, and I forget exactly what the context was, but I guess Tyla was on an interview with the Breakfast Club, and she said that she identifies as colored or something like that. And Tariq Nasheed goes on his Twitter space and he just starts going off on her and saying she's a sellout and she's anti-black, all this kind of garbage, right? And I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And so I was looking for some other content and it's looking for people who made comments on it. And I think I happened to come across one of your videos, and then I started to go through some of your stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it was really hard for me to listen to you at the start, bro, because you go really hard. Like, that's not really my approach. And so like hearing somebody like be that direct with the black community from a biracial mulatto perspective was like, it was hard for me to hear, bro. I was like, oof, like that hurts to hear, you know what I mean? And so it kind of was off-putting, but at the same time it was refreshing to see somebody stand up, you know what I mean? It was like, finally somebody is fucking standing up. And then that led me to Mulatto Mindset, and I found some of his videos, and I was like, oh wow, so there's more of y'all out here. Um, and it's made me, in a sense, kind of want to go public. I'm gonna be real with you, dude. Like, I'm a little bit worried to go public with this shit and put my face out there, and you know what I mean? Because nowadays you don't know who's watching your videos. You don't know how this shit could get back to your employer. They could pull a clip up and fire you from your job. You know, and I'm a guy. I'm college educated. I'm 22 years old. I got my whole life ahead of me. Like, I don't want to ruin my life over internet stuff. You know what I mean? Even though I resonate with the message and I want to go public. So, I just give you kudos for that. But yeah, that's how I found your stuff through the Tyler thing.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's interesting. Yeah. And I feel you on that, it's definitely rewarding, but yeah, there's risks involved as well. But I've calculated it and I have nothing to lose, in my position. So I embrace it. I embrace being the villain because you're gonna get typecasted as a villain. You're
It's
speaking against
crazy.
yeah, you can't win. Even like with Drake, like it's so bad with him, like they're gonna make false allegations on him, and that's what they've done with me as well. So like it's kind of parallel. Like if you're a biracial man, living your life, speaking your truth, like people are going to try to destroy you. So it's real shit. And Drake's biracial identified. So whatever reason, people have this fake kind
Is
of
he?
narrative. Yeah, man, people have
I
this
did not
fake.
know that.
I could pull it up for you, but people have this fake narrative that Drake just thinks he's a black person and shit. When there's a lot of like someone I saw on Facebook today try to pull that crap. And nah, Drake, let me share this my screen. He's always been biracial identified, as far as I can tell. Um, Someone put right here, you can see my screen, right? Yeah, I'm sharing my Facebook. Mulatto means black in America. No, mulatto means mulatto in America, but this is some old dumb Negro. I'm gonna say it like that because that's how it needs to be said, right? I know for
To
you,
send
you
the
said
message.
he puts right here, hence both Drake and J. Cole refer to themselves as black, nothing will change. See, they don't want anything to change because it's the status quo in power. They want biracials they can punch down on to feel better about themselves. They want to talk about this light skin, you weaken light skin. Oh, but they love the light skinned women, right? It's just the men, they want to feel like they're better than us to get an ego boost. But the light skinned women control these dark skinned guys. And it's but me, I'm just not playing the game unless I get something out of it. Look at this quote here that I got. I made this from I saw one of Drake's quotes. This is like a couple years ago, bro, like maybe 3 years ago. So right here, being biracial and being young along with being American and Canadian, he's a dual citizen, allows me to try and cover all the bases and expand my fan base to a level that is yet to be seen. Yeah, only Michael Jackson, he's in that conversation with Prince and Michael Jackson. Like I said, he can go all the way to Australia, majority white audience, and like sell out a whole like stadium over there, probably like 40,000 fans that are going to pay big money to watch Drake. He's not cheap. You
Yeah.
want to watch, like he's got a private jet. The cost of fuel and oil is expensive. He's not cheap if you want to book him. So but he's biracial identified. And I'll just share one more thing before I give you the mic right here. Let me see.
I was just gonna say.
Business.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Times, it's up to a bunch of people that might not understand, what a mixed race kid from Canada has to say.
You hear that? That was when
Yeah.
he accepted his Grammy. It was in 2019, I believe, for the song, the God's Plan song. That was a big hit. Has billions of views on YouTube here. He did a song God's Plan. He won a Grammy for it, but he just basically said, "Hey, the Grammy doesn't mean shit. If these people out here support you when it's raining, they spend their whole paycheck to watch you sing and perform, you already won in life. This award is nothing." He just said a mixed race kid from Canada.
It's up to a bunch of people that might not understand, what a mixed race kid from Canada has to say. Or
so he's mixed race. I just shared two sources and proof that he identifies as biracial mixed race. But see, your opposition, the Afrocentrics, the pro-blacks, the FBAs, the Tariq crowd, they're going to paint the narrative that, oh, he's confused. He doesn't know who he is and where he fits in. He tells the whole world that he's a biracial mixed kid or he was a mixed kid, but he's a biracial mixed race guy from Canada. He tells the whole world that, but still they try to push back on this narrative. You don't know if you black or you white or where you fit in. See, that's a trope that they put on us. When we're proud of who we are, they still put this trope on us that we don't know where we fit in. I figured it out. Hey, I fit in really good with the mulattoes and the mulattas. I'm good over here in Mulattoville. I figured it out. Hey, we're growing. Okay, yeah, a lot of these mulattoes think they're black. I just talked about one earlier whatever. But hey, it doesn't matter. The ones who are conscious are growing. You're even thinking about starting a channel, maybe make it anonymous or something. But it's like, look, the consciousness is growing. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what bothers me, this was the real tipping point for me, and you've pointed out this multiple times. It's the fact that it always goes one way but never back the other. And that's how you know it's kind of an abusive relationship. It's like we have to conform to Afrocentrism. We have to conform to this sweeping narrative that the Black community, agrees upon in the hive mind. We have to deny our own experiences and shrink ourselves. But at the same time, they don't have to respect our identity. They don't have to listen to our experiences or our testimony. They can talk about us being cry racials. They can talk about us being, the children of race play fetishes, all this kind of stuff. Just totally disrespect our identity, totally disrespect our lived experiences, basically ignore them. And it's insane. It's like, there is no space in the Black community where um where biracial or mixed race or mulatto people have the opportunity to like speak authoritatively on the matter. It's always Black people doing it. It's always monoracial Black people doing it. They want to have the authority. They want to hold the cards. And it's like, motherfucker, you didn't even have this experience. You don't even know what this is like. You have no clue what this is like. It absolutely baffles me, the audacity that these people have. That's what really sets me off.
Yeah, because you're challenging the kind of paradigm that's in front of you, this power imbalance. There's an imbalance in the
Yes.
force, right? And yeah, they want to speak for you and that they think they have, dominion over you, right? And they have main character syndrome. So
Yes.
whenever you try to speak about your experiences in front of them, which I don't really recommend,
No.
what they're going to do is they're going to basically always circumvent it and circle it around back to them and how they struggle more because they're darker
Yep.
skin, because they grew up in this area, this part of town. So it's always main character syndrome. They're always going to try to get you to decenter yourself, and then they are going to uplift and center themselves and validate themselves. And they'll always invalidate you. What they'll say is, well, you just make being mixed your whole personality, but yet they're like pro-Black and Afrocentric and
Yep.
descendants of slaves. Like their whole personality is about being oppressed by white people, but they
Yep.
turn to you and they tell you, you make being mixed your whole personality. Like that's who I am. I'm a mixed guy. Yeah, just accept it.
I,
Shout
I, I
out.
was gonna
Yeah, go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, you're good. Go
Well,
ahead.
I was gonna say, did you get a chance to see the Carmelo Anthony case? Just want to hear your take on that. Did you hear about
I
this?
I think I made a comment about it when I started the stream, basically advising biracials, don't even get involved. That's a monoracial affair. It has nothing to do with mulattoes. And it's interesting to see some biracials like jump to this side or that side. I mean, the kid pulled a knife to a fist fight and he stabbed a dude. The dude died, and now he's doing time for it. That's life, And I think a lot of mulattoes are just getting too kind of caught up in it. That's the only comments I'm going to make on it. I don't really feel like it's relevant to us, And I saw a mulatto on Facebook today because the verdict came out. She actually put a comment or she made a post basically saying biracials should just kind of like not even like waste their time. I agree with her. I don't. It's very clear like what happened there, and it's sad because you'll see Black people, they'll switch their whole profile picture on their social media and have the face of this kid who's convicted, Carmelo Anthony. Like they're kind of celebrating it, like he done it
Yes.
a white guy, and I'm like, this is kind of
Yes.
weird, sadistic behavior. Like as a biracial person, like don't partake in the kind of back and forth with these Blacks and whites. Like it doesn't benefit us. Like we're the future. Let's focus on us. Like let them fight their own battles. Okay,
So
but yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny that you say that. Well, I guess two things. The first one being, I don't really care about the back and forth between Blacks and whites on this matter because you're absolutely right. It doesn't involve us in any way, shape, or form. What was shocking to me though was the response from the Black community. And it's like, this is one of those cases where it's just so obvious that the black person is in the wrong, and yet they still cannot bring themselves to recognize this. It's just this sheer level of tribalism is totally mind-boggling. This kid stabbed him so hard that he broke his rib and punctured his heart and put a 2-inch deep wound in this kid over a push. And not only that, he was sitting in the wrong tent that wasn't designated to his team. He was asked multiple times to leave, 15 times to be exact. After being asked to leave, he started cussing at them. He was calling them the P word. He was calling them, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this
Yeah, I mean,
platform.
I'm gonna cut in here because, like I said earlier, like I just don't think it's relevant. I get what you're saying. Like I analyzed all the details as well, and you made a valid
It's
point.
just their response was over the
Yeah,
top, is what I'm
but
saying.
they're very primitive, okay? And I'll say that. Like
Yeah, yeah.
they're
And I don't want to say,
tribalistic.
yeah.
They're very tribalistic, and this is why mulattoes have to stay out of their bullshit. Like they love white people, but they hate them at the same time, and they want to triangulate us. They want us to be their bootlickers and foot soldiers to fight their battles. They're not paying mulattoes. They offer you temporary, conditional membership
Yes.
access at the expense
Of your
of
identity.
unconditional loyalty. They want you to
Yep.
always bang for them and fight their battles, and you don't get anything except for today you're black, but tomorrow you're not like us. Only the pussy weak mulattoes amongst us are playing with them like that. Shout out to Coolie Cat, man. You're on the panel. I want to hear what you have to say because I'm already 2 hours kind of deep into this. I don't plan on being here all night, but I know Coolie Cat just jumped up on here. What's up? You want to say something? Go ahead.
Yes, I would like to say I am some sort of a servant and a bypasser to you. I learn a lot from you, and also I learn a lot about myself, especially of my complexion. And with this Carmelio Anthony thing, I think it's best for many people, even my complexion and even your people, Mulatto Vanguard and Dreamer, to stay away from the black community. Like
Wait, so
stay away.
you're not
Like
mulatto. So are you black?
yes, light skinned. And I have
Yeah.
a feeling you got this Griff kid that was killed by an Asian. Then you got this, and I have a feeling that if one more happened, that you guys gotta stay away. I like, and the him being obviously guilty. It's at a point where I
It's the
recognize
fact that
that
they
black people.
celebrate it. That's the problem. They celebrate it.
Yeah,
That's what gets me.
yeah,
Well, yeah, because
and
I saw some of them with their profile pictures. They had that kid's face as their like profile picture. I'm like, it's kind of weird, like because they did that with Christopher
Yeah,
Dorner.
it's insane.
You know what? You know, out there in L.A., Christopher Dorner, the L.A. Sheriff's Office, right? They put his face as their, and also
No,
Mike.
no, I don't.
Also, yeah, he
you
was.
talk about McCliff on the face, like
No. They switched their profile picture to have the portrait of this L.A. sheriff Christopher Dorner, who went on a shooting rampage against other officers in his department. Not only him, Christopher Dorner, and then also they did Micah Xavier Johnson, who was out in Dallas, and he shot up some cops. And they switched their
God.
profile picture to have him. They're like signaling this kind of like black supremacy thing. They have these black guys who attack white people. They switched their profile picture to show that. Like that's what I'm saying with this
okay.
Carmelo thing. I'm seeing some of them put that guy, that he's a kid though. He's like what, 17 or whatever.
May I
They
say
put him
something?
as their profile picture. I'm like, this is kind of weird. You guys are like the negative energy, like, and they push that towards us.
It's
That's why we
insane. Ugh.
got to get away
Yeah.
from them, bro. But Coolie Cat is black, so it's interesting because you messaged me and you inquired about my review of the movie The Strays. Now, like I said, the movie The Strays is a horrible movie. I kind of gave my review. I don't like it because it's trying to revisit this weird, antiquated, tragic mulatto trope. But the lady, Ashley Madaquai, in real life, like she's married to like a white guy, who's successful, I think, in her same like line of work. I think he works in Hollywood, or like a Jewish white guy. So it's like she's portraying a character in the film that's nothing like her real life. Like this whole tragic mulatto thing, this is her, the lady who played the film. Like she's supposed to, and the main character in the film, she's supposed to be downtrodden and shit. Like beautiful mulatto
People
lady. She's an
pleaser.
actress, but it's so fake. Like they try to revisit this like tragic mulatto kind of theme in these movies. In that Netflix movie, it was so bad. Like I know Holly Berry did a
It was
Netflix
long.
movie. Is that hers is more about like a struggling single mom. Holly Berry. I forgot the name of the movie, but it was like she did like a couple MMA fights in the movie, whatever. But hers was good. But yeah, I don't know. Just that film was not good at all. Like the whole tragic mulatto type of thing, and I don't like it. Yeah.
And
Yep.
making black people like the innocent, even when they're out here being all types of terrible, is just not good. Especially, I just want to say this: black people are experiencing are exhibiting Machiavellian tactics and narcissistic behavior, and where they are right now
Yep.
is best for everyone to have their own identity, their own tribe, and their own space so they can have a peace of mind. I just want to tell y'all that because where they are right now is, if there's one more situation, just stay away and just put
They're gonna
yourselves
riot
out
or
there,
something.
especially, huh? Yeah,
I said
I
they're
feel
gonna
like,
riot or something.
yeah, they're gonna do something because this, you got the boy getting killed by child, and then this one in jail, and what's next? I have a feeling, and I don't want it to happen.
Well, the narcissism is at an all-time high. I mean, last year, weren't they celebrating Kendrick Lamar? I mean, they had their savior, their hip hop savior there, and they're like all in front of white people. They're talking about the Super Bowl. Like there are all these hidden messages that, in
Mm.
America, and that the white guys, like, they finally acknowledge us because all they want is white acceptance, right? And that's why they hate mulattoes, because we're closer to whites than they ever will be. And that's the kind of the challenge that a lot of mulattoes haven't figured out yet. And like they had Kendrick. Like what else do they want? Like they, you
You
know.
know, it, it's so funny that you say that about white acceptance, because there's a term called pathological altruism, and this is the weapon that the black community uses to basically hold everybody hostage. It's like they they think that, okay, if you're white or mixed race or mulatto, or if you're a white leftist or a white liberal or an Asian or a Hispanic, it is your obligation to stand up for the black community. It is your obligation to be an ally. But then at the same time, if you are, they want to critique you for not being a good enough ally. They want to critique you for not being sensitive enough, or they want to critique you for, overshadowing black leadership or something like that. It is this belief that we always have to make sacrifices for them, always have to be altruistic for them, always have to be empathetic for them. This is their weapon. This is how they get people. They use terms like you're a white supremacist, you're anti-black, all these kinds of terms to guilt trip you and shame you and manipulate you, and make you feel this sense of, like I said, pathological altruism. You can't care about yourself. You can't care about your own people. You can't care about your own identity first, because doing that is anti-black. I don't know how they do it. They like manipulate you or gaslight you, or fuck with your brain to make you feel guilty for doing something that is normal, which is wanting to be secure in your own identity and be around your own people and care for your own people first. That's actually natural. That is a normal thing. And this is the funniest part about it. The pathological altruism thing, I forgot who coined this term, but the, the thing that gets me is like, and this is the big tell back to the point you were making about Kendrick Lamar and wanting white acceptance. All these people will complain about white people being the devil. They'll complain about how evil white people are. White people are the worst. I hate all white people. But then when they get the opportunity to leave white areas or leave white society, or God forbid, go create their own country where they can live amongst themselves and celebrate first degree murder away from all of us, they never take that opportunity. Why? Because they want access to white institutions. They want access to Hollywood. They want access to white women. They
You
want access
can't
to
sweep
wealth.
that
And
up.
their only
That's
way
the
of getting access,
thing.
and
They
that,
can't
but their
keep
way
that
of getting
down.
that is by guilt. That their way, and this is the thing, everybody is beginning to realize the game. In the past 6 years, race relations have gotten significantly worse in this country. In 2013, and I was looking at the statistics the other day, in 2013, 70% of white Americans and black Americans believed that race relations were good. After everything that's happened since Trump, since George Floyd, since COVID, race relations are the worst they've been. And everybody, now that Twitter is basically totally uncensored, people are beginning to basically speak up and be like, you guys are fucking insane. The whole country is turning against them. Whites are turning against them.
Their own
Mulattoes are
people.
turning against them. Asians,
Yeah.
their own people, dude, their own people are turning against them.
Well, you know the
Like
Everybody
me.
delineation.
sees how nuts they are.
Yeah,
Like me.
yeah, they have this delineation movement, and their coping mechanism is now they're trying to call themselves Indians to cope with the fact that they don't want that class status of being black. So now they're going to say, well, I'm actually an Indian. I'm not really black. I'm different than them, or I'm actually mixed race. Now you
That's
have
a
blacks
cope.
trying to claim they're mixed. I know. But what you said was very profound. Where it's basically they want to guilt trip people into giving them access, specifically whites. They want to guilt trip Hispanics too, but and even mulattoes, they guilt trip us with the whole colorism argument because they're colorist towards us, right? But then they'll turn around and they'll call us paper bags. So they want to guilt trip us to give them access or something. Very bizarre, but it's the guilt tripping thing that because I see it a lot in even different spaces and different YouTube spaces, whatever, where some of them, they still have the balls to think they have the moral authority. They literally, like even the guy, the Phil Advice show, he'll jump out here and act like, oh, well, we are like, we have the moral currency. They act like they have the moral authority where they want to shame and guilt trip everyone else to feel
Yes,
sorry for them.
yes,
Like, we're the most
yes.
Christian, we're the most righteous, and we
They
fight
not.
for everyone's
No,
rights.
they not.
Look at Jay
Bro,
Z.
like
Jay Z's a fucking Satanist. Jay Z's selling his soul to the devil. I shared you images. He's a Mason. He's up there with Harvey Weinstein, all these predators, Pete Diddy, but they back him up. They defend him and they defame the biracial man. So I'm sitting there looking at this like, well, wait a second. Someone's got to check your ass for getting uppity. I know a lot of whites don't want to put themselves out there. That's cool, whatever, be a hoe, that's fine. But I'm gonna be out here calling their ass out. I mean, I know on the right side they do that. You got even black people that are on the right, or all they do is talk shit about blacks, like Candace Owens or whatever. But now I'm just look, I do the biracial content, okay? I do the mulatto content, and I hold people accountable. And like I did for this stream, because Jay-Z wants to steal shit from mulatto artists. Okay, the dude Payroll and the other dude Ice-T, they want to steal shit from us and claim and take all our wins, take our creativity and repackage it as if it's black. And at the same time, they'll turn around and be like, well, mulattoes have no culture. Mulattoes don't have an ethnicity. The white man, we're like, man, shut the fuck up, man. Get out of here. But that's all I got to say right now. Guys, I got to go. I got to wake up early, go back to work. I appreciate you guys
Yeah, do
hopping on
your
the
thing. Do your
panel.
thing.
see ya.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys know how to reach out
Have
to
a good
me,
night.
right? Yeah, you too, man. Appreciate it.
Good night.
You too, appreciate it. You guys know how to reach me, and I guess for the just broader audience right here, you can email me, let me know. You want to get in contact with me, reach out to me. I'm pretty easy to kind of get a hold of. And yeah, that's it, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like the content, hit the like button. If you think it's gonna be resourceful, someone can find something useful out of it, share it with them, your friend or colleague, whatever. I appreciate you guys' support as always. Stay tuned. We're not going anywhere. The momentum is continuing to build, and I'm here for the ride. All right. Appreciate you guys, and peace out.